Namaste, angels. This is going to be a 30-minute client reading, and I have been procrastinating to the point that I'm starting this reading at 1:44 a.m. I guess that's what I was when I was meant to start it for this this woman. So, not procrastinating like I didn't want to do her reading. Just I did a reading and then I bullshitted, and then I did a reading and then I laid down and I did a reading. I mean, I guess I have to do that. I have to like regroup and clear my mind and stuff. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm beginning with the energy of the goddess, which is all about surrender and opening to answer prayer. And this is necessary for this and vice versa, right? We're going to be praying. We're not supposed to just pray and not have actual faith that we can manifest these things or that they're going to come to fruition. So that's where the surrender is required. And then also prayer without works is, the scripture says it's dead. That means nothing. It's just like words. So there's also a surrender to the follow through and the action that you're supposed to take. Both of these cards might represent air and or water signs. This one tends to come through more specifically, not just air and water. I mean, it can be air and water in general, but not just air and water, but like more specifically Aquarius and Scorpio. And this one, the tarot, the moon represents the sign of Pisces. But Earth's moon rules the sign of Cancer in real life. So this can be connected to that too. But you see all this like scattered, this like white noise it looks like behind her. So that's like air to me. I don't know what signs either of the people for whom I may be reading are, the masculine or the feminine. I have no idea. So the goddess, so we'll see what comes up. But here's more air and water, or at least water, and healing sounds. Well, yeah, so that's why it's like air and water, because air is communication. But she's behind, or there's a moon behind her, and she's sitting in what looks to be a pool of water. And this is about, I connected to binaural tones first and foremost for myself, but anything that you enjoy listening to, motivational speakers, right? Some sort of minister or something. I know people that listen to tapes of, these people, Joyce Myers, sorts of things. I don't, but I respect that if people listen to that and they find it motivating, then do that. Any genre of music, right? That helps you to gather yourself and be at peace or get centered. Guided meditation. The only thing I say about with guided meditation is if you feel like you might fall asleep when you're doing the meditation, don't listen to guided meditation, because you don't want to fall asleep and have this person talking and not know what they're saying over your life. But if you're awake and you're going to be, 100% active participant in the meditation, then guided meditation, and then binaural tones. And there's binaural tones for any and everything you could possibly want to work on about yourself, or I've listened to them when I had to study, and I'm a Gemini and I procrastinate because my mind is all over the place. So it's like not necessarily conscious procrastination or avoidance, but I'm doing 10,000 things like all the time. I'm a super multitasker, and sometimes that's really awesome, and sometimes it's not such a good idea. And so I've listened to things to sort of get me focused, beta rays and gamma rays, and sometimes, they adjust music to these specific tones, whatever you need. This may be calling for you to work specifically like with the sacral chakra though. Goddess. And the gateway. This is about a shift, right? Moving it, or I don't even like the word shift. I'm going to say a transition. Like the end of one phase and the beginning of a new one. And so we enter into this new gateway. We go through a new door. right? A door has opened for us, one closed behind us, because that phase is over. One open in front of us, and we're going through that one. That's the gateway. Goddess and golden path. So even though we've gone through the gateway, and this is something new, it's still part of our planned course. We're still on track. We're still on path. And it's a path toward our ultimate healing. You may say, well, that's the path never going to end. And in some respect, that'd be true. Because I always say, if we stop growing, like, there's no reason for us to be here. We stop growing, we stop learning, we stop healing, then our work is done here on this plane. Like, why are we here anymore? So there is always something, always room until we transition to another plane. There should always be something that some place that we can grow and learn. But as far as these hurdles that we're trying to get over, and things in our life that maybe we haven't faced ever, really, all of a sudden we are. That's now. And so you're on track to do that. It requires continued surrender, though. I mean, not forget to reiterate this. Golden path in the cut. Miracles. So this is attached to the faith and the prayer and the works and the surrender. That's how miracles happen. That's how we make miracles happen. Overall energy is the Earth Connection card. This too can be about air signs as possible, because it really brings up the energy of Venus for me. And Venus is the ruler of both Libra and Gemini. But more so, it is more directly connected, and even says so on the card, to Earth. So she also rules Earth sign Taurus. This can be connected to the energy of Virgo as well as Capricorn. So divine feminine, the masculine about the feminine, about himself and the union as a whole. Overall, the masculine would have the feminine do, like toward and for the union, what he himself is willing to. What the universe would have the two do, it will help them. They commit to that. They have to first, proclaim, to do it, and the outcome. Divine feminine, guardian. So you're on that new path, but you're not alone. And that new path, I didn't mention it before. I don't know how I didn't, because I tell everybody the story about how much it connects me to the movie The Wizard of Oz. And I have a connection to The Wizard of Oz already in my own personal life. When I was a child, I was one of several children who was on the soundtrack of the movie The Wiz, which is the Black Wizard of Oz, the one that starred Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. There's a song about The Wiz, and it's sung by the heavyset lady. I forget her name now. And in the chorus and the hook and all that stuff, it's these children, and I'm one of the children. And so I've always had a connection to The Wizard of Oz. I've probably seen it a million times, and when I pick up that card, I still feel it. Doesn't matter how many times I pick it up. And what is The Wizard of Oz about? It's about going down the yellow brick road, which is similar to the golden path, because we're trying to reach the Emerald City, because that's where the healing is. And it's the same thing with us, like trying to reach the Emerald Ray, because that's where the healing is. But Dorothy she wasn't by herself outside, or in a general sense. She had other people, friends that she met along the way, to walk with her down the path. And then she also had this additional guidance and support in Glinda, the Good Witch, right? And again, similar to us. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. We have beings upon which we can call to and support, and energy and entities, and depending upon what one is into, a lot of us, and what one considers themselves to be, if anything, if it has a label or a name, or if they've been told. Like I was told early on in my journey what I was. And I revealed that I'm on my channel about a month into the fact that I even had a channel. I shared that with them. But everybody's journey is different. So somebody else may not be told and may not figure it out and may not care, but still has a connection and a resonance with particular energies, with their own ancestors, ancient or newly deceased. Grandma was always the one who showed me the way, and now she's gone, but I still feel her guiding me. Then you talk to grandma, but there's always support. Basically, it's what the moral of my story is. And even if you can't see it in front of you, you're reminded when this card comes up that it remains there. It will always be there. And it's like this close. It's just right there. The masculine about the feminine. Transience. So a healing process through which he's going, and he sees her going, and perhaps that he feels they need to go through together. Even if together doesn't mean physically, maybe simultaneously is a better word than together. But this is something that they're both doing to work toward, like a common goal and common end. And a personal end too, personal goal too, because as individuals, it's you who also have gained the immediate benefit of this healing head to toe. And that's what transience is about. But it also requires that surrender that continues to pop up. So if you're one of these people that tries to control the situation and all of that, you're going to have to let that go. That's not going to work here with this. Masculine about himself. Trilogy of Light. He gave you a matching card to his. You see, we got these color schemes. The masculine tends to be very good at this. I like when the Trilogy of Light is similar to yours. It's the energy of the divine mother and father, and ourselves, or our partner and us, and the divine. There's different ways to envision the Trinity and to feel this support. But the fact is that he's indicating here, his higher self is indicating here that he feels it. About the union as a whole. Oh, I love it. A lot of it is telepathic. A lot of it is telepathic, not necessarily physical. It's energetic. But this is so much deeper to me than, even the physical in the 3D, even the intimacy, the sex and stuff in the 3D. This can also involve sex in the 3D too. But the levels that it goes, the depths that it goes to, and the way that you can, the intensity with which you can feel somebody, even if they're not there, when tantric union is involved, better than sex. Better than sex. Overall, here's that air and earth again. or perhaps again the energy of Venus, similar to the overall energy here. Again, if we're going to be more specific about the air, Aquarius, but it doesn't have to be. But the star is showing up here, and the star does represent the sign of Aquarius. She's sitting here in the earth. She's all green. There's all green surrounding her. That's representative, of course, of the earth energy, and perhaps specifically Taurus, if this is Venus coming through. But it could be Capricorn, Virgo. But more importantly, there's an indication, just like our overall energy again, that we need to spend some time in nature, connecting, meditating. So if we'd all live in an area that's conducive to doing our meditation outside, that's what we should do. Not necessarily like this woman or this angel. We can do it like this angel if you're into this, right? Sitting Indian style, prayer pose, do that. You don't have to though. You could be sitting on a bench. You could be not sitting at all. Could be standing, walking, jogging, whatever helps you to connect with nature. Then what the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union? Oh, it is moon tree. So not only more surrender because of the moon, but moon tree is a card of sacred marriage. So it's another indication about the masculine's feelings, at least as they relate to the union. Even if that they haven't, those feelings, you know, haven't fully manifested in the 3D, that's possible. This is the energy. Tantric union and moon tree. So that's the connection. Sacred marriage and, you know, 5 ascended union, basically. What is the masculine himself willing to do? Rise again. Are you guys in separation? You might be in separation. And this might be him coming back. That could be what he's willing to do, coming back. It's a rise. It's an ascension one way or another. But it's almost as if he was like completely like asleep before and now he's awake. And he's emerging like from a cave, like hibernation was the feeling that I got. Hibernation. And looking to the light, like I haven't seen the light in ages, but now I'm looking to this light, and he's got another 3 rays. There's like these 3 rays are showing up here. 1, 2, 3, but they're white, and this is like the Christ light. People consider white light to be like the Christ energy. But in addition to the white, he's surrounded by all this yellow and orange and red and purple, all these really spiritual colors, mostly yellow. And so it's so bright here, then you have to logically, you know, gather. And it's not a quantum leap to say, well, it's so light here, and where there's light, there's dark. So the dark must be from where he's emerging, must be from where he's coming. And so that's probably why I got this feeling of hibernation, although I don't remember ever necessarily feeling or saying that before in a reading, but I just felt like he was in a cave and now he's coming out. So if there's been physical separation, I would also connect this to like I'm come back. And will the universe have the 2 do? There's forgiveness necessary. And you know, this week Yom Kippur, the Jewish holiday Yom Kippur, falls within this week. But also on the Islamic calendar, has been through the 13th, like atonement, forgiveness, repentance. These days leading up to Yom Kippur, which is on the 19th, are the days of repentance. The end of last week was also a holiday with Mary, surrounding forgiveness and compassion and repentance, Our Lady of Sorrows. And so that's what this is. There's been some sort of pain, and maybe that's what caused separation. If this card I'm noticing matches too, these two. That's what caused, if it's not physical separation, like distance, still distance between you, because he had to go through like a process that I guess is connected to this trilogy of light and becoming nearer, you know, or trying to get nearer and dearer to the universe and to where we belong in the scheme of it. And now ready to come back and address 3D situations. But also, I'm getting like, even without physical returns, there's a need to release stuff onto which we've been holding, and to forgive. I can't tell you to forget. I can't tell you that means that you should, you know, allow people back into your life, people that you forgive. Sometimes we have to accept the apologies we're never going to get. You know, the person's never going to say I'm sorry. But for us, we have to release it. And the universe is calling again for the two of you to forgive yourselves. Like, stop. There's like guilt and blame, like self-blame and whatnot. Just stop, to release all of that, is what I'm feeling from here. And the outcome. Very nice. And you see this one matches the one that it is underneath. And they're connected because they're both about healing. This card, this couple in this very loving looking embrace, is similar to what I said about this one, and the two of you healing as individuals but also together. This card is about one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together in a harmonious way, but with the release of toxic energy. The two of you also continue to grow together. That's the outcome. From the universe, I'm beginning with control. Didn't I ask you a little while ago if you have one of those people that try to control the situation? This may apply to you. Opening to Beauty Queen. This is more of that Venus energy. Venus, the planet and goddess of popularity and beauty. Esteem, attraction, so feeling good about oneself. Control again. Opening to open relationship. Control. And children is another party of three, or another three. Opposite control can be like actual children, and you know, there could be manipulation involved with that. Sometimes the child's other parent will try to use them or money, you know, that as it relates to them, some kind of pawn or means of control. But aside from that, that card also tends to come up for me as sort of like an Empress energy and about abundance, you know, that we can look forward to, especially since it was opposite beauty, which is Venus. Venus is the planet again and goddess of abundance too. She helps us with those new beginnings. The Empress card represents that, and you know, like being fertile with new ideas and opportunity, and it represents the three signs that she rules, again Libra, Taurus, Gemini. Nurturing oneself, the need to nurture oneself, and opposite that Beauty Queen card, that can be involved. There's a need to, you know, treat yourself and take care of yourself and prioritize yourself, and to bring the control into it would be again to not fight any of these things that the universe is guiding you to do. So to relinquish control in that sense. And opening to mature man. which is connected for me to the energy of like the Emperor, and the planet Mars, and the signs Aries and Scorpio, which it rules. And this guy being sort of controlling and overbearing. It may be a father. He could be the other parent of those children, for example, and a manipulator. It's like an authority. He could also be guiding you to take back control, take the lead in your own life. You know, like he's a leader, he's a father, he's setting an example. Control. And it's fair male, and this is like a represents like a karmic energy for me in this deck. Sort of like the devil from the traditional tarot represents the sign of Capricorn, and restriction, feeling stuck. And speaking of Capricorn and perhaps other earth signs, the overall energy is work. Which tends to represent that for me too. Earth signs, Capricorns most specifically. They're like the workaholics of the zodiac, in my mind, in my opinion. The divine couple, recent past, near future, masculine's higher self, blocks communion. What the feminine can do, the masculine can do. What the universe would have the two to do, and again we'll help them with. They have to affirm it, commit to it, and here's the outcome. Divine couple, freedom. So this is very air sign. It's Aquarius, where Mars is currently located. And I just mentioned with the, it wasn't called old man. What is it called? Older man, I don't know. Mature man, that's what it is. That he represents the planet Mars for me, and the father aspect of the Emperor card from the traditional tarot. Mars, ruler of Aries and Scorpio, which is currently located in the sign of Aquarius, which is the freedom seeker and the humanitarian of the zodiac. So this is the two of you, I guess, seeking freedom or wanting to be free, maybe wanting to live freely, especially with that open relationship card having come out. It's like wanting to, the desire to live life out in the open and out loud and as you wish. Recent past, destiny. This may have been coming to a realization of what is and is not your destiny. And maybe beginning to recognize that and consider surrender and rather than being controlling, letting go, realizing that some things are going to happen or not happen just because they are. That's it. Near future. Ooh, obstacles. Let's hope they are something that underneath destiny, it's like something that you're gonna have to face. Is the way it's coming through thus far. Like if this is you're meant to, you know, hit this obstacle to deal with it and learn a lesson from it, or you know, remind yourself that you are free to pick it up and move it the hell out of your way. Then it's gonna happen. Masculine higher self. Children. Okay. He may actually be a father. I've had a lot of this father energy showing up this far in this reading. These could be actual children. Not necessarily small like this, though. Let's look further. Again, all these cards can have more than one meaning. I still feel new beginnings and things from this. So the masculine's that could be his focus too, where his head is at. New beginnings, fresh start. And it shows up with children for me because, you know, there's the room for growth. It's sort of like the Three of Pentacles. No. Yeah. It's like a cross between the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Fire, I suppose. In the way that, because the Three of Pentacles, I usually see like we're due the abundance that's coming, and that could be the way he's feeling too. Yeah, I guess it is Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Block to the union, other than the fact that this obstacle is showing up here. Young male. So maybe the masculine's actual child, and or again the relationship with his child's other parent is manipulative and an obstacle, a block. Let's see what the feminine can do. True love, so remaining, you know, in that energy of love and space of love. Not getting derailed by anything else that's going on, including whatever this obstacle is. What the masculine can do, money. He can look forward to some abundance that's about to come his way. And not let himself, if he hits an obstacle of like a feeling of lack, like it's not coming, like not allow himself to sink into that, to like remain in faith that this is coming, abundance is coming. And again, that's how miracles happen, right? Because with our faith and belief, like I see that's there, but I know that that's not what's meant for me. That's not my destiny. I was already told my destiny is, so I'm going to remain in this place of faith and belief of what my destiny is and what's coming for me. And that's how it'll be manifested. Because if we sink into a place where the mindset goes here, then it won't. That's how we block our own blessing. We become the obstacles. We're in our own way when we do that. Remember, your overall energy was work also. So we're able to, the prayer plus the works results in the miracle. What the universe would have the two of you to do. Oh, it's the open relationship card I was talking about. Like the living out loud and the being free. This is following your heart, the true love, and taking your freedom. You're taking your freedom. Taking back control from whoever you had relinquished it to before. You're taking it back and getting your own life by the reins and the bull by the horns, as they say. And the outcome. This is the karmic female. This may be, again, the masculine's child or children's mother. When I get this card, though, I mean, it can easily be an actual person, and typically is like a court card, and then typically actually female too. But it can be an energy also, this like a karmic energy of some that's surrounding you, like trying to hold you back. You know, when it seems like Mercury retrograde, like that sort of thing. This sort of energy that seems to be out to get you, that you have to try to work around until it passes. It can be that too. It doesn't have to be an actual person. Going to the Doreen Virtue Romance cards, beginning with religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. An opening to pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. I'm aware that it is half hour already. I'm just going to look at a couple of these religious factors. And let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. So I talked about that at length already. The support that you have when the Guardian card showed up. So this can be calling on 3D friends, or friends on this plane, or friends, friends from another plane, your guides, your protectors. Opening 2, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Calling in your soulmate. Let's do one more. It is worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Calling in your soulmate. And it's retreat. Again, so this is like the 3rd card that's guiding you to spend some time with nature. It's time for you to disconnect from the world. And guess what the overall energy is? Let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. That one was not a shocker in this reading. Crowning, healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents, but it's not just your parents, it's any and everybody with whom you have some sort of relationship that you can't move forward unless you heal this relationship. And healing it can be repairing it, actually repairing it with them, or walking away from it and cutting the cord, the energetic cord to that relationship. This could be that karmic female. And again, she may be the masculine's, wife or former wife, the mother of his children, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. Sometimes those cards are connected to one's own parents. The relationship you have with your own parents is not that you have children. It's something, it could even be from the past, from your childhood. And involving siblings. Sometimes when I get that card, there's like those are the other people, the other children. I did feel that the children weren't necessarily small. In any case, whomever, it could be several of those things, all the above. You could have issues all over the place. You have to either resolve them again by repairing them, or you have to walk away from these relationships. The masculine is surrounded by very soon. If you clearly decide what you want, it will come to you now. So it's like a choice that has to be made. And I would definitely say that it involves making adjustments to the people, places, and things that surround you, that are in your life, your environment. And the masculine's subconscious, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. He has to prioritize himself. So again, like nurturing himself in that sense that I'm going to consider myself first. I'm going to consider my feelings first. I'm going to consider my heart first. I was just listening to, and I've been listening to for the past several days, but I was listening to it before I did your reading. This is a song by a group called First Choice, and it's called Let No Man Tear Asunder. I posted a video the other day of my candle that the wick had bent itself over, and so rather than being a wick that was sticking up like this, it was, this way. It was this way. So there was enough room now for one flame to be here and one flame to be here. There was 2 flames burning from this wick. And I recorded it. That's happened to me before, but I didn't have the thought, I wasn't moved, the nudge to record it. This day I was. And when I did, I happened to have been listening to that song, Let No Man Tear Asunder. So you can hear it in the background. And I just posted about it too, because I was listening to it and I got stuck in my head. So I said, let me listen to it. And then I posted on my Facebook, it's not a perfect love, but I'll defend it because I believe it's what God intended. But what let no man tear asunder actually comes from, I know for one thing it's in the book of Romans, but I remember it being in several different places where Jesus is explaining to people, right, crowd of people, townspeople, that the laws that the Jewish people were believed and practiced, and that Moses had given them, and Jesus even uses these words, the laws that we gave Moses, my father gave Moses, were to appease man. Okay, chuck them. We're not following this anymore. Only follow God's laws, my father's laws, not those ones that, again, they guide man. He's giving us this. He's given us these new laws, the new covenant, right, to follow. But he goes on to say, like, where two souls have been brought together, joined together by God, let no man tear that asunder. And that includes ourselves. That includes our children. That includes our parents, whom, any and everybody. Let no man, like, God put it together, and God's the only person that can decide to separate you and, do something else with you instead, is what it means. Reconciliation. Okay, in the last spread I said I felt coming out of a cave, returning. I felt you must have been in separation. This sort of tells me that, yeah, that was correct, although I didn't think it wasn't. But reconciliation, if there was any distance between you, that coming together, someone from your past is returning to your life. Feminine, surrounded by past life relationship. You've known each other before. And soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. And I think all three of these are, 100% connected. They go together. And in between you, unrequited love. I think this is like, it has dual meanings, like a play on words. Like, this is between you. This is a block that's between you. Some unrequited love. Maybe your ex, his ex, other foolishness. Unrequited love also comes up for me to indicate imbalance and where healing is required. And we saw that come up already too. That you got to do some, he's got to do some. It's gonna help the two of you, and that involves our biological chemistry. I majored in biology before accounting. Like, I went to school when I graduated from high school. I went to school for biology, and then as an adult. First a young adult, I went back for my first accounting degree after I had my son. He was 9 days old when I went back to school. And then I graduated again recently with another accounting degree. So anyway, the imbalance where it says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going is why this card, although that's not what the author intended, has from the beginning, since I got them, come through for me often as imbalance in people, chemical imbalance, emotional imbalance, basically. So there's that. But again, I think it's also having to do with somebody, or that is like between you, literally between you, and that's why it's here in the middle. At the root, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And at the heart of the matter, honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So this is like, again, that could be the honeymoon phase of a relationship once there's a reconciliation and coming back together. It indicates difficulties, for the most part, being behind you, and a new start. So that new beginning, we saw the energy of new beginnings before. That's that. Further advice to the masculine, golden path. So he is to stay the course too and not let anything, again, derail him. Anything or anyone, regardless of who they are, including himself. For you, there's stuff that you have to let go. It may be connected to a fire sign. Doesn't have to be though. Golden memory shows up when there is baggage that we are carrying around with us, and we need to drop it like the hot bag of shit that it is, and not try to take it with us into our future. That may be your unrequited love, an ex again, somebody connected to you that you need to get rid of. The masculine past life. This is another indication he's got some karmic stuff to deal with. That's the individual healing that we talked about. For you, family, you've got your own party of 3 thing that's coming up, and something that you need to work on. Again, possibly connected to an unrequited love at this point. And for the masculine, codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Yeah, because he's got a toxic situation of some sort that he's continuing to perpetuate. So that, again, that's what he has to work on. And this can be any person, place, or thing with whom he has a toxic relationship, whether he is codependent upon it or them, or they on him. And lastly, for you, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So despite all the other stuff that's going on, again, we maintain the faith. That's how miracles happen. I hope that you've enjoyed your reading and you find it helpful. Namaste, Angel.